Hey, what's up everyone? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here with a list video for you guys. So for this list, I'll be going over 5 of the worst people in the music industry. We're mainly talking rock and metal here when it comes to music artists. So keep in mind, this list is in no particular order, and also keep in mind, this is not necessarily a top 5, although you could argue that a few of these people definitely are worthy of being in the top 5. These are just 5 of the worst people in the music industry, at least based on what I know. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I think the first one I'll get into here, actually, let's just go ahead and jump into the first two because both these individuals are pretty much guilty of similar things. And those two individuals are Ian Watkins from Lost Prophets and Dobby Vanity from Blood on the Dance Floor. Obviously, these two individuals are known as being pedos, creeps basically, and very disgusting individuals from what I can tell. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Dobby Vanity even had underage fans in his tour bus or something like that, which I'm like, really, dude? And of course, we all know what the story with Ian Watkins is, which, is a very disturbing thing in of itself, but yeah, these kind of people just should not have any place in the music industry, and just terrible people, just absolutely terrible people. And I'm sure they'd make a lot of people's top lists when we're talking the worst people in the music industry. Now, with Blood on the Dance Floor, are they really rock or metal? Like, I know they're more on the electronic side of things, but yeah, I don't know. Just not good people. Not good people. So that's why I went ahead and just got the first two out of the way, because both of them are obviously guilty of very similar things. So next we have John Cooper from Skillet. Now, this might be a shock to some people to see John Cooper on this list. And mainly the reason why I have John Cooper on this list is I don't think he's like a terrible person necessarily. I just think he's cringe. I think he's cringe, and he really needs to shut up. He needs to shut that mouth of his. Because from what I've noticed with John Cooper, like, he tries way too hard to be this political commentator now. Like, he's very far in the right wing, of course. And it's like, dude, just stick to music. I'm not a Skillet fan, but just stick to that. Honestly, just stick to that. I mean, it's like he's trying to be like the next Ben Shapiro or something like that, like, you're not going to be the next Ben Shapiro, dude, so just give it up already, and nobody cares. But that's mainly my issue with John Cooper, which, it might sound weird to some people, mainly my haters of mine, that I would complain about somebody who is right-wing. Some people might find that very ironic for obvious reasons, but hey, I've made my political stance very clear, when it comes to the whole thing. And yeah, I just have this issue with John Cooper. And I think, he's one of those people that just needs to zip it, But if this was a top 5, he would probably be, probably the lowest on the list, because obviously he's not as bad as, well, Ian Watkins and Dobby Vanity, obviously. But yeah, but he's mainly cringe, and I just think he needs to shut his mouth, honestly. So, John Cooper, might as well have thrown him on the list, because, well, that's a complaint that I do have with him. So next we have Todd Lor from Queensryche. Now, I do have similar complaints to Todd Lor as I do with John Cooper, except it's more the opposite side. While John Cooper is out spreading his right-wing views, you got Todd Lor over there spreading his far-left views, which both extremes are bad. Both extremes are bad, especially when we're talking the far-left side of things. Just look at his posts on social media and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And his senseless hatred for Christianity as well, which seems to be a common thing on his side, which I have no tolerance for that. It's ridiculous. Another dude that just needs to zip it, that just needs to shut his mouth. And honestly, Todd Lor is really the main reason why I strayed away from Queensryche's more modern music. it's like I'll stick with the Jeff Tate stuff, I'll stick with that stuff, and that stuff is better, especially those 80s, early 90s albums from Queensryche. But anything with Todd Lor in the band, I just want nothing to do with. I mean, I think his views are a little too extreme, and I know some people said that he's like borderline Satanist or something. I'm not sure if I would go that far, but he's pretty bad, though. He's definitely pretty bad, especially when we're talking about his social justice, far left views. Just absolutely ridiculous. And with a lot of those people, you really can't reason with them. And I don't want to. I just want to stay away from people like that as much as I can. So there you go. But Todd Lor, I mean, I can't stand this dude. Definitely one of the worst. And I've had issues with this guy for a few years now. You know, I lost a lot of respect for him. So yeah, just not a really good individual. Not a good individual. So lastly on this list, I'm sure this is one that's kind of expected for some. Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse. This dude is probably the biggest man-child in the music industry, at least when we're talking the rock and metal scene. This dude is another one that just doesn't know when to shut up. He thinks that his opinions are the ones that matter the most, you know, that he's basically superior to all, which he's not. And yeah, this dude's just, he doesn't know when to shut up. It's like he just tries to stay relevant and everything. And yeah, I just have a lot of issues with Ronnie Radke, and I know that a lot of you do as well. Definitely known as one of the worst people in the music industry. So Ronnie Radke, this dude really does need to shut up and zip that mouth of his. And just keep your bias to yourself, your opinions to yourself, whatever the case may be. So Ronnie Radke, not a good person. So that is my list of some of the worst people in the music industry. Again, mainly talking about rock and metal here. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with my choices? Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. So with that said, thank you for watching. Have a good one.